And I do want to highlight, I've visited Tranquility, which is one of your projects in Clermont. Personally, I did get to see those modern finishes. I was floored. Just the waterfall countertops. There's it's like an outlet inside of your
Yeah, it's a
inside of your.
push button outlet.
Yeah, that's amazing. Those are things, and also your full backsplash. That's something that most builders don't include, especially as a standard option. So can you talk to us a little bit about Tranquility and what you're offering in Clermont and the area?
Sure.
Bienvenida, familia. Welcome to the NAHREP South Florida podcast. My name is Jenny Torres, and I'm the Vice President on the Board of Directors for 2020. I am super excited about our first podcast. We have today an amazing guest. They're actually a partner at our next event next week, a Preconstruction Showcase that we're putting on in Doral. It is at the PBR Cowboy Bar in Dolphin Mall from 2 to 7 p.m. So after this interview, if you want to join us, let me know and I'll send you the registration link. I would like to introduce our panel partner for our next event, Zenodro Homes. We have the CEO with us, Lusant Ordonez. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Jenny. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for partnering with NAHREP South Florida. I would like you to introduce yourself and give us a little bit of insight on Zenodro Homes.
Sure. Well, my name is Lusant Ordonez, as you clearly stated. Zenodro this year celebrated its 20 years as a builder here in Central Florida. We were originally from Miami. I grew up in Miami, and we started in 1997 in Miami.
Hola familia, just a quick reminder, if you're not a member of NAHREP South Florida yet, make sure you go to nahrepsouthflorida.org/membership to become a member today. It's only $49 a year. Now back to the podcast.
Miami. And in Miami, we were focused on commercial and high-end residential. Probably projects you guys recognize are Latin Cafe 2000. We started that with friends of ours and later went into very high-end residential. We did Cher's House in Lagos Island. We did a lot of clubs in South Beach, a lot of high-end homes on Collins Avenue, and then Coral Gables. And then at a certain period in time, at about 1999, we wanted to get into development. We looked at some projects in Homestead. That led us to putting together projects in the downtown area from about 14th Street to 36th Street, everything east of Biscayne, and started putting projects together. And then we ended up coming upon Orlando. Shortly after that, we focused on Orlando and came up here. We've been here ever since. Miss Miami dearly.
You'll be back next week, so that's good.
I go there often, believe me, more than what my wife likes, but there you go. But yeah, so we've been up here. What we did, we first started doing the traditional builder model that they did up here. Crash came along. We changed our model and we went back to the basics. Biggest thing we learned after the crash, after seeing what was being built, was based on our experience in South Florida, we thought we can do better. And we did. We brought in the design concepts that we learned in South Florida, the quality that we learned in South Florida, and tried to change things up a bit. So we were the first builder to offer modern finishes here in Central Florida as a standard. And then we just kept on growing that into where we are today. We've been recognized by the Greater Orlando Builders Association as the best builder in our space for what they call multifamily owned product. Because we're delivering townhomes at the time, we were given the Grand Award, which is basically, it's from Volusia County all the way to Polk County. We were recognized as the best. And there you have all the big national builders that compete and local builders as well. And we won first place and second place. And that's primarily based on quality. Our mission is to deliver the best, right? My philosophy is I like to sleep at night. And another philosophy is if I can live in them, I can sell them. So that's been the guiding principle on what we do and how we do it. We've been blessed by God and all the successes that we've had because of that. And it's earned us a lot of recognition in our market. So yeah, it's a little bit about us.
And I do want to highlight, I've visited Tranquility, which is one of your projects in Clermont. Personally, I did get to see those modern finishes. I was floored. Just the waterfall countertops. There's it's like an outlet inside of your
it's a
inside of
push
your.
button outlet.
Yeah, that's amazing. Those are things, and also your full backsplash. That's something that most builders don't include, especially as a standard option. So can you talk to us a little bit about Tranquility and what you're offering in Clermont and the area?
Sure. So currently we're closing out Tranquility. We have 32 units left. We're starting at 549.9. That's the middle unit. It's actually the same square footage as the corner unit, but the corner unit is considered a more premium lot, and that's going for 589.9. We have 4 inventory homes. We have, I think, 1 in middle unit and 3 corner units left that are built, ready to go. You can close tomorrow if they have a buyer. And then we have 4 under construction, and I'm getting ready to start 4 more. Those, the buyers have the opportunity to select the finishes. And yeah, everything that we offer is high end and it's standard, like you clearly stated. We don't charge for any upgrades.
And that interior unit, that's a 3-bedroom?
3-bedroom with a den. So by building code, you're not allowed to have a bedroom that doesn't have a window. So the 4th bedroom in the middle unit becomes a den, but it's the exact same layout. So it's really the same square footage. It's just one has a den and the other one has a bedroom.
It's beautiful. I love the loft. I think that's great, especially with families traveling to Orlando where they can have like game night. It's great. And then the corner unit, which is a 4-bedroom, that one has, instead of it being a loft, it's an actual bedroom with a window.
Yeah. So it's been cool to see a lot of people from Miami are buying our homes.
Yeah.
Our just recent sale was a family from Aventura. They bought, obviously, the price compared to what they can buy in Miami for what we're offering. I mean, these houses come with a small pool that's heated, you know.
I actually have a video of it. I'm going to share it with our members. Do you guys have unbranded material that you can share with our?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have the whole, what we call a broker link, where that has everything from unbranded videos, unbranded brochures, emails. I mean, everything. We've set it up and made it pretty easy for the realtor partner to get up and go and sell quickly.
Let's talk a little bit about the growth in Clermont. We talked about it earlier. There's different things coming to the area. Can you tell us a little bit about what the growth looks like in Clermont?
Sure. That's important, right? So in Orlando, it's been growing by areas, and right now we're it. You know, previous to us, there was an area called Winter Garden that was extremely hot. You know, Lake Nona, extremely hot. Now it's Clermont, right? In the area we're in, it's considered the fastest growing area in the region. We have new projects coming up everywhere. There's a downtown Clermont being revitalized. There's like a lake area that's being created for like entertainment. And now just north of us is a project called Olympus, which is basically an Olympic village that's being created there for Olympic athletes. You know, it has hotels, retail, and obviously, you know, we're as a crow flies, in other words, in a straight line to Disney's newest entrance, which is a 1.5 miles from us in a straight line. You have to drive there, so it's about 8 miles all the way around. But they're growing, you know, Epic, you know, just opened here, and it's been nuts. Let me tell you, the traffic has been crazy.
I can imagine.
We've been considered, you know, Orlando's been considered one of the largest growing cities in the United States because of employment, affordability. We're seeing tons of people moving here from South Florida. But, you know, the big thing that we've experienced a lot of is buyers who are going to Miami to invest into Miami from South America are now coming here because the numbers maybe aren't attainable for them, right? So now you want to get something decent for $500,000 or $600,000. Options are limited down there, and they're coming here and they're finding so much value for the money. It's becoming attractive for them as well. So we have growth from all angles. You know, New York, Miami, all these areas are coming into here and investing.
I've, like I said previously, I have visited the area. I see the growth. I see the potential. That Olympus Sports and Entertainment Center is going to be huge, especially for families that are in travel leagues and they're going to be in the area anyways. Also, a big thing that I loved about Tranquility and your product is that you can Airbnb, correct? Short-term rental?
100%. So yeah, so they call it a hybrid used or no restrictions.
Okay.
You can live in the house, you can rent it nightly, you can rent it long term. There's no on-site management that we force you to use or anything like that. It's a house that you buy.
Right.
There are partners that we refer, that we vetted, that don't destroy your house, that don't rip off the client, that we refer out. And because we're referring them out, traditionally, these people give, I hate to say it, but kickbacks to everybody. What we say is don't give us a referral fee, give it to the client so they can spend less money when they're. So what they do is they'll lower the rate on commissions from 20% to 17.5%, and they won't charge them a management fee for 6 months, things like that. So we're working with different groups to offer better services.
So you have on-site partners that can manage the properties for them. What does the HOA fee look like in your project?
$350 a month. That includes water and sewer. It includes reserves for repaints.
Nice.
Re-roof at the life of the roof, exterior maintenance like pressure washing, road maintenance. The roads are private, so they have to be maintained. Water and sewer, I just said that. And then like termite bonds, which is something that's needed. And then common area maintenance and the clubhouse.
The clubhouse has a pool that all of your guests can use.
Sure. So we have a unique model. So that's unique about us. So go back to 2007, and that wasn't a fun time in this business, right? We had the GFC where everything crashed. And one of the things that we saw was the ability for certain communities to outdo others was the burden they put on their owners as far as cost. So our model was, let's keep our expenses low as we can. I mean, literally the HOA that started in 2007 from some of our older communities just had its first increase after, I think it was like 18 years. It was like ridiculous, right?
Right.
So the model is create a low overhead for the owners buying these homes so they don't have a huge burden carrying it, right?
Right.
Our clubs, they're not these gigantic clubs with lazy rivers, but what they are individual clubs for a certain number of units. So for about every 100 units, we have a separate clubhouse. That allows us to keep down the cost. Some are more, some are less, depending on the phase that you came in. Some have 88 units, some have 112, some have 108. But the whole point is, these smaller clubhouses meet the demand, but they're all spread out. What's traditionally happened is these clubhouses create a huge expense, right, for some of these owners. And on top of that, in the heat of the summer, when you have everybody and their mother in Orlando, they want to get a spot at the pool, and they have one clubhouse for 700 houses. You're out of luck if you show up at 9:45 and not at 9:30 because all the chairs are taken, So we've helped mitigate that as well with our strategy of, our clubs have a gym, they have a game room, ping pong, video game arcades, pool table, and the new one of the new clubhouses are going to have pickleball courts and then a pool, right?
So it helps with the overcrowding. So every certain amount of units has their own clubhouse and they have their own private mini pool, which is great.
Yes.
And it's screened in for all the bugs. I know South Florida, there's a lot of mosquitoes, so it's great that you guys have that screened in patio. So let's get into what the realtors really want to know is what is your commission structure looking like in Tranquility at Zenodro Homes?
So currently what we're offering, there's a couple things. So currently we're offering 8% commission. That's our current offer, right? And what that does is over a certain number of units we're offering that. It's right now we're offering 8 units that we have at that deal.
Okay.
In that structure, once the client pays a 30% deposit, within 30 days we'll give the realtor as a thank you, we'll give you 50% of the commission. And 30 days is because the client is hard after 30 days and there's no risk of them backing out. So we get 50% of the commission and then 50% at closing, right? When people buy these inventory homes, hasn't been happening because they're kind of going to closing right away.
Right.
So they're kind of getting the commission all at closing. Additionally, we're re-implementing our VIP program, which was after you sell a certain number of units, we're going to give you an additional point. So right now, that tier structure is at 5 units. Anything after that, you make 9%, and then there's another tier after that where you end up at 10. But that whole program is being sorted now. I think it's after, on your 11th unit, you'll make 10%.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
8% commission on a $550,000 unit is a lot of money.
It is.
I love the commission structure. A lot of our agents aren't aware of your project, so that's why I'm so excited for you guys to join us next week at our event and be part of our panel so we can get into a little bit more about what Zenodro has to offer our Miami agents. I want to thank you, Lusant, for being here.
Thank you.
And for the agents out there who want that broker link with all that unbranded information, DM at NAHREP South Florida. We'll get that over to you. We'll put you in contact with Zenodro Homes directly so that you can take your clients out there. You don't want to miss out on our event next week so that you can get to know the team in person. Lusant, I can't wait to meet your team. And again, thank you so much for partnering. And we hope that this partnership helps our businesses grow as well as yours. Thank you so much and see you next week.
See you next week. Thank you, Jenny.
Bye, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the NAHREP South Florida podcast. And until next time, don't forget to follow.